Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're watching the Patreon bonus story. And before we get started in the story, Jesse, I do want to talk about this Spotify playlist.
Yes, so let me begin here. So a while ago, I had been playing a lot of Kerbal Space Program. I have a cool game called Space Engine where you can explore the galaxy and the universe. And I wanted some cool music to listen to it. And so I made myself a little playlist. Okay. And this contained music that I thought was good for sort of just spacey scenes and peaceful stuff. And also some songs that were related to space travel, you know, that were related to it, or just songs that were funny. And then we saw Starman. We saw the Falcon Heavy launch a car into space with a dude sitting in the driver's seat. And there's about 4 hours of footage for you to watch on the internet, which they streamed live.
Right.
And it was amazing. You know, you see the Earth rotating behind him.
And reflecting in the car.
And reflecting off the car. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And there are some really, really beautiful scenes. There's at one point, so at 2 hours and 33 minutes, there is lightning going on Earth behind Starman.
That's incredible.
As he's floating through the Earth. And I was like, I gotta pop on my space playlist. So I turned it on, and it works perfectly. I was like very impressed with myself. And I was like, you know what, I wish I could share this with people. You know, I was sort of showing my friends at work, and they're like, okay, cool. I don't really have time to watch Starman float around in you know, on the back of your monitor. So I thought, you know, who would appreciate this the most? I'm hopeful that you guys would want to listen to a playlist that I put together. But then I was like, you know what? This isn't complete because I only have 2.5 hours worth of music. And Starman, the video is 4 hours long. So I was like, you know, Zach, do you have any songs you want to add? He had some songs he wanted to add. So I made it a collaborative playlist. And then we were like, there's a link. We can put the link in a video description down below.
Yep.
And you guys can, listen to the playlist, and you can add your own songs. As Patreon supporters of this show, we're just so incredibly thankful. So when there's any opportunity for you know, interaction between us, I want to share stuff. So I want to share with you my space playlist, which I've now labeled Starman. You can listen to the whole thing if you're on Spotify.
Yeah, can I just talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
So Spotify is the platform that we use. It's a wonderful program. You can download it for free and listen to it for free. You can also pay for a premium edition if you like it. But yeah, go to this playlist, and then you can add your songs to the playlist.
Right, so anything you feel is appropriate.
We just ask that you don't delete anything from the playlist.
You know, I think that people will add whatever songs they want to. If there's any really, really awful songs, not like musical, but like, I don't know what kind of awful music there is, like from a human rights perspective, that might mysteriously disappear off of the playlist, but I ask that you don't delete any songs. I want this playlist to grow over 4 hours long. Like, you feel free to add whatever song you think fits over this, whether it's space themed or just sounds right over a man floating around a planet, because ultimately this is going to be a playlist that I think that everyone is going to want to listen to when we are you know, flying to Mars.
So it's going to have to be a 6-month playlist. About
a 6-month long playlist. I mean, and maybe it's a radio station and it's something like that. But ultimately, I think that you people are some of the you know, you're our best supporters, and you probably care the most about this.
You're our best hope.
You are our best hope. So we hope that you enjoy and contribute, because I am very excited to see what you guys have to listen to.
Now, getting to our story here,
Yes.
the Polestar 1 was the first car that Volvo, remember that company, Volvo, owned now by Geely, that they talked about last year, and it was a hybrid. So immediately it was kind of outdated when they announced the Polestar 2, which is going to be an all-battery EV.
Right.
Exciting. They said it's going to be a Model 3 competitor.
A Model 3 killer.
Right.
And they said that it would come out
2019,
and that it was
priced just like a Model 3.
Right.
So exciting. What did they just say?
We are not saying it's a Tesla killer. We are here to vividly compete with them in the market. We will launch the Polestar 2 in the second half of 2019, and production will begin around the start of 2020. This is a year late.
But hey, it's going to cost only $35,000.
No, it's going to be 40% more expensive than the Model 3. And apparently it's
Wait, so
going to
be $50,000?
It's going to be about $50,000, so $49,300 coming out 2020.
And this is the CEO, Thomas Inglenlath. So, I mean, this is the CEO saying this.
Right. So this is not conjecture here. They're literally saying...
I feel like we already predicted this.
So, I mean, yeah, when we talked about cars that were going to be coming out in 2020 and 2019 and stuff, we didn't have our high hopes. And a lot of people were like, what the heck are you guys doing? You know, you got to be positive about these companies because they're going to be, you know, pumping out these electric cars and it's going to be so exciting. And now we see something like this where, you know, it's going to be late and it's going to be more expensive than we thought. And, you know, I hate to say I told you so to the people who, you know, doubted us and were like, you know, this Polestar is going to be awesome and I can't wait to buy one instead of a Model 3.
Also, it's going to be a low volume car.
Right.
It's not even going to be for the masses.
Right.
It's just so they can get their name, you know, in there.
It's really sad. I don't know. I think that it's...
When we start crapping on these EV companies, it's not because we're against EVs. We love EVs. It's a problem with innovation.
Right.
These companies are not being innovative. They're just being... I don't know what they're being. I don't even know why they're bothering. Like, why don't they... Why do they do this? What's the point of having a low volume car?
Right.
Who's going to want to buy it?
Right. Just take, you know, if you need to take some time, you know, because I am okay with things being late.
Right.
But having things not be the same as what they said, that's pretty lame. You know, having it be a lot more expensive, that's not cool.
No.
Because, I mean, people are going to be waiting for this car. There's all these cars that are coming out 2020. Well, I'm going to call them the 2020 cars. And, you know, everyone's sort of depending on them and being like, well, I'm just going to wait to buy the, you know, one of those cars. If they don't show up on time or if they aren't the same price, I mean, either the people are going to just have to keep waiting or they're going to have to turn to a Model 3.
People always say about Elon, always never right about his time frames.
Right, or that he's always late. But I would put it to you that by 2020, you're going to be able to get your hands on a Model 3 pretty quickly.
And maybe even a Model Y.
Right. It's going to be a different world. And so when people are complaining today about like, oh, they pushed back the deadline for the Model 3, I'm not going to get it for another 3 months. It's like, yeah, that's 3 months, but you have very limited other options. I mean, yes, you can get a Bolt, but like, again,
where are you going to plug it in?
Where are you going to plug it in?
Yeah. Thanks for supporting us, Patreons.
Yeah,
we
you
really
guys
do appreciate it.
Rock. And I mean, I really hope you enjoy that playlist. One thing that I would recommend is if you like put on the Starman YouTube video from SpaceX, pop in the playlist and just have it play in the background. Like if you're doing some homework or you're doing some dishes or anything like that, I think that it really sets a nice mood.
Is there any Pink Floyd in your playlist yet?
I don't think so.
I feel like Pink Floyd might work.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of like, I had, you know, 2001: A Space Odyssey soundtrack, a little bit of Interstellar, obviously a bunch of Bowie, and some ballet. A lot of Russian ballet. Ballet goes really well over things floating in space. Just it's very light and airy, but sometimes bombastic. But anyway.
Can you move songs around in the playlist? Like as songs come in, can you move them around?
Yeah, I think that that's fair. I think that if you think that it should go right after this song,
maybe leave us a note. You know.
Yeah,
we'll do our best.
And you know, let's talk about it on our Patreon page because I think that that's going to be fun. You know, I want
comments down below.
Really want comment down below. Comment on the Patreon. You know, let's talk about it. Let's get a cool playlist going. So that way when we go to Mars, we can just say download on our Spotify Premium app. Because then I think once we get into space, you can have someone on Earth cancel it for you. Because, I mean, you're going to be offline, right? Your phone's not going to know. Think about it.
Always thinking ahead.
Always thinking ahead, huh? All right. Thank you so much for watching this Patreon bonus story. We'll see you next week. Now you know.